We are doing a bit of an evening update for everybody here. But anyways, my friends, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing fantastic this evening. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend so far. Everything like that. Here, let's go ahead and get this set up here. We're gonna go ahead and put that in here. All right, but what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Glad to have y'all here this evening for yet again another update here on the tropics and everything like that. We do got ourselves some new model data and stuff like that since earlier this morning. We do got ourselves a little bit more guidance here on this this upcoming system here, so we are going to be talking about that here. But what's up, everybody? What's up, PayPal? Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Chris? Saying, oh, Lord. Yeah, so since our update earlier, the Hurricane Center has actually increased the probability now up to a overall 50% chance. If you guys were here during the earlier update here today, we were basically seeing how this was an overall 40% chance for development. Now it's up to a 50, so the Hurricane Center has increased the odds of this storm being, a tropical system here. Now, throughout the next 48 hours or the next 2 days, we're not expecting anything. So it's going to be kind of for, the models is we're going to see kind of shows the storm kicking up between the 1st and the 3rd throughout the Caribbean, and then the 4th and the 5th throughout the Gulf. So we'll continue watching that. But anyways, my friends, what's up, everybody? Will Florida get hit again? A lot of model support on that. So it's a little early to tell if Florida will be hit again. We cannot rule this out at the moment. The models are still in kind of fairly early talk here, which we'll get more into that here in a moment. What's up, Ann? I hope you're doing good. What's up, Roadster Jim? Saying, holy moly, the Gulf needs a break. It sure does. It sure does. Let's see. What's up, Rodney? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you are doing good. The outage map was insane yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Sunflower says, is this going to hit Mobile? So we're not too sure on where the thing's going to be making impact here. So we have the 18 Zulu GFS here. This is the brand new run from the GFS. We have the 18 Zulu. Like I said, we were doing a bit of updates here earlier. Now, according to the latest 18 Zulu, you can kind of see the storm, starting to pick up here. This is right around October 1st. So like I said, right at the turn of the the turn of the month here. The storm works its way throughout the 1st, the 2nd, through the 3rd, and we kind of approach the inlet here. Out there towards like the northeastern Yucatan Peninsula and like the western side of Cuba. We do end up approaching ourselves out towards that region there here for October 3rd. And then, of course, as we continue to progress our way down in time here for like October 4th, the storm works its way out there towards like kind of the southern central Gulf here. Then according to the GFS, it works its way up there kind of towards the northern Gulf here for the 5th. It kind of steers, as you can see, going up there towards like the Florida Panhandle. But remember, this is not set in stone quite yet. It's still a little bit early to tell for sure exactly where the thing's going to go. But there's continuous model support showing that there could be that possibility overall. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's actually another little low that develops here, actually in the Western Gulf. You guys see that for right around October 2nd, October 3rd. So we got this guy, the main system, but there's actually another little low that develops out there. We'll have to keep an eye out there for that as well. Let's see. PayPal, there's no way of being sure, man. Try not to, spread fear amongst people. Like I said, we don't know. We don't know if this thing's going to hit Florida or whatever. So please don't try to make predictions this early. It's just simply too early to tell, okay? Let's see. Wisco, I do not. I do not. I used to, but not anymore. Let's see. I told everyone September, October, very busy, 24. Saying every year now, 25 will the same occur. Well, it started off as a pretty quiet season because we had a lot of dry air, a lot of dust out there. Now things are clearing up a little bit. We have a lot of activity going on here now. We'll go and hop over here to the map. Speaking of, they upgraded the probability to a high chance for development on that eastern system, the one right behind Joyce, which Joyce doesn't seem to be an issue. Here, let's go ahead and bring up our other area here. We're gonna put a cone, stuff like that. Yeah, so there you go. So there's Joyce, currently a tropical storm. This one's not expected to really do a whole lot. Then we do got ourselves Isaac. Now Isaac actually got up to Cat 2 strength. Currently is a Category 2. From here on out, it's going to pretty much just kind of weaken. And of course, we have another disturbance following right behind Joyce here, which could be another system to watch. But according to some of the models here, it also has that system kind of potentially pulling its way out there towards the ocean. So it could just be a fish storm. But like I said, this is the one we need to really watch. This one is the one that has that potential. So we'll see. We'll definitely, have to see and continue monitoring that overall. Do I think it's going to hit Virginia? So I'm not too sure. Like I said, this is going to be tracking its way towards the Gulf. And obviously, to get to Virginia, you need to kind of pull to the east, which, yeah, it does not look like it, my friend. I would not count on this thing getting near Virginia. So, but anyways, but yeah, so that's, what we're looking at. Will this be a Cat 4 or not? Unlikely. It's unlikely. Like I mentioned, there's still a lot of things we don't know about the storm here. You can see the latest GFS has it doing a kind of a violent turn there. You see that? Once again, it's kind of a little bit too early to tell. I mean, at this point, this is like October 4th and 5th, throughout the 6th, which that's still a really good week away or so. Which that's obviously there's a lot of time for this to change here. Let's see here. Helene impacted so many areas in different ways. Oh, it sure did, man. It sure did. It was quite a nasty storm. So that's GFS. Here's Euro. We have the 12 Zulu European ECMWF here. Euro shows that system actually going right near Florida. So it looks like there's going to be a frontal system here, according to the latest GFS and the latest Euro. There's kind of a front that's going to be kind of pushing its way here to the east. Now, that actually might be a steering mechanism in kind of pushing that storm to the east. So, it's a little hard to tell as of now. It's still a little bit unknown, but that could actually be a steering mechanism for the storm here. Because you can see, originally it goes to the northwest, and then once that frontal system comes through, it kind of pushes it to the east here. Now, remember, this is not for sure. We got to take this with a grain of salt. Because it's still fairly early in the models and stuff like that. But yeah, Euro shows it out there. GFS shows it, towards the Panhandle here, a little bit stronger too. Icon, everybody loves Icon. We'll have to hop to the 12 Zulu Icon here. This one kind of has it just a elongated low, just a big old broad low pressure system out there. Almost the size of the Gulf. Just a big, strong, a pretty weak, but very large low, which, would be a much better scenario, keeping things just, relatively much calmer. But yeah, so that's, that's kind of what that's talking about. Let's hop over to EPS. This is some more model data. Now, this is actually what we call ensembles. So these are basically just one model with a bunch of runs here, which we'll get into that here. It all depends on when the frontal zone hits. Yeah, like I mentioned, that really could be a steering mechanism in terms of steering that storm possibly and keeping it into the eastern Gulf. That could be good news for my folks out there towards the western Gulf, towards Texas, like Louisiana. It obviously depends on timing, like we mentioned, but that could be some good news for you guys, and maybe keeping that storm away. If that continues to support that. That could be a possibility. Anyway, so as we work our way down in time, so you can see here for October 1st, we have a group of those models, those members there, kind of sitting in the Southern Caribbean. We work our way up here into the 2nd. You can kind of see that a lot of those 2nd and 3rd, a lot of those models, a lot of those members kind of pile up on the Western Caribbean here. Rolling our way here into the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th, you can see that all of those members are kind of scattered throughout those regions, and then they start moving east. You guys see that? How they all start kind of moving to the east here? So the members might be suggesting the thing pulling its way to the east because of that frontal system that we were just talking about. So we'll have to watch out for that. And also, if you look closely, you can actually see that there's another set of members. You see that really big blob out there? So that's another system. That's actually that other system that we were just looking out there for, that the Hurricane Center has a high probability of development on. That's another storm we'll keep an eye out there for. That system seems like it won't be as much of a problem. It seems like that this storm here could just go out to sea, but like I mentioned, for the one that's in the Caribbean, heading towards the Gulf, that one we need to watch. That one we absolutely need to watch. Let's see. I just came, but I heard about another possible hurricane happening soon. Where Helene was, is it possible? It can't be ruled out, but I will say that the track is very much unknown at this point. Where the storm will make landfall, that we don't know. Also regarding how strong it will be, it's still a little unknown. How strong, how big the storm is too. There's a lot of factors that we still need to kind of work out here, because the models, they're still trying to come to an agreement here, which they really haven't yet. But it does seem like there might be a little bit of a trend to the east here. It kind of seems like a handful of the ensembles, possibly has that storm tracking into the Gulf and then, kind of shifting on the eastern side because of that frontal system that we were just mentioning, that little cold front there that could, kind of act as a battering ram and kind of, push that storm to the east, which that is a possibility. So that's a little bit concerning, of course, especially for the areas that literally just got affected here. I mean, I literally just had the storm here. I'm in Florida myself. I didn't get the worst of it, thankfully. It still is pretty heavy where I'm at, but yeah, we got hit hard down here in Florida, and definitely got some really nasty conditions out there. But last thing we need is another one. The last thing we need is another one. So let's hope not. Is there a factor it could hit the Gulf in Mississippi? There's no way of being for sure quite yet, but I wouldn't rule out that as a possible outcome. As of right now, the models are very much scattered. I would highly recommend over the next, several days, if you live along the Gulf Coast, I would highly recommend monitoring the storm here. It seems like the majority of the members, the ensembles, and the main individual models actually have that system kind of remaining maybe on the central and eastern side of the Gulf. I would say at this point that is most probable, but just know that that could still change. Considering the fact that we're still a good week or so away from the storm here. These storms are, the further you look out, the more. The more inaccurate it potentially could be. So just keep that in mind, and that anything can still change with the storm here. Let's see here. I wish it would go to south. I don't wish this on anybody, Anna. Honestly, I wouldn't even say that. I wish it just wouldn't happen. I wouldn't wish these storms on anywhere else. Obviously I don't want these things to impact anywhere, but it's unfortunate. It really is, and it's completely out of any of our control. Like I said, I wish that there was a way I could stop this, but I'm not some, superhero. I can't really control it. But like I mentioned, we're just going to need to watch it. We're going to need to keep an eye out there for it. So that's EPS. Let's switch over to GEFS here. So according the GEFS, you can see as we approach our way into October 1st, you see that there's that big grouping here of those members from the ensemble model, the GEFS. So we work our way down in time, and as we work our way through the seconds here and into the third, you can see that there's a lot of those members having that storm out there towards the eastern Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba, right where Helene actually squeezed by. The majority of the models has it out there right around October 3rd. Then working our way up into October 4th, kind of out there towards like the southern and central portion here of the Gulf. And then as we approach our way here into the 5th and 6th, you notice how the movement kind of trends a little bit to the east there. You see how some of those members kind of pull east. And if you actually look closely, there's actually a bit of a trough here. You can actually see because these little divots here. So that's indicating that there is a cold front, that's going to be working its way through, which, that will possibly allow the storm to maybe steer eastward. I hate to say that, but it depends on the timing of that cold front, the overall strength of it. If it's a strong frontal system, that could allow for, some of that storm activity to possibly shift eastward. Like I said, that's not good because these places literally just got hit by Helene just a couple days ago, and yet again, the models are kind of starting to hint that the storm might be pulling east because of that frontal system kind of pushing the storm more towards the eastern side. And it's not just this model, it's also literally every other model that you look at right now. But yeah, so like I mentioned, the storm kind of starts here in the southern Caribbean here for the first. We work our way towards the second, towards like the western Caribbean. For the third, we approach our way towards that little inlet between the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba. For the fourth, we kind of approach the southern Gulf. For the fifth, we approach kind of the central Gulf, and then the sixth and seventh could be the day of impact. Wherever. Once again, that's not final. That is definitely not final. Landfall could occur along a pretty good chunk of the the Gulf Coast here. There's still a lot that we don't know. I mean, it's certainly possible that the storm could go up here towards more of the areas towards like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. It could theoretically go to Florida as well. That we don't know for sure right now, but we do know that there is another system here. Models have been talking about it for days at this point, and it's been very consistent, not just between one, but literally like all of the main models. So that is a good key indicator that, hey, this storm is likely going to happen. Based off of what we got going on here. The models have been very consistent with it. All of the models have been talking about it. So it really does seem like the storm could do that. But anyways, let's see here. So weather, there's no way of being, there's no way of knowing if it's going to be as strong as Helene. I honestly doubt it. But we'll see. There's no way of knowing strength right now because it's just simply just a little bit too far out there. But yeah, some of the models, like I said, some of those members have it, shifting its way to the east. So that's GEFS. Here's GEPS, the last set of ensembles here. Now this one, as we approach our way towards the third, the same area here, the storm is across the eastern Yucatan Peninsula and throughout western Cuba. The majority of those members out there in that little inlet there for October 3rd. So then as we approach our way here into the fourth, oh my goodness. A lot of those members have that thing going right over Florida. So that's not the only model that shows the majority of the members going that way. Yeah, that's. Let's hope that changes a bit. Wow. Yeah. So you can see that big orange blob there. That's a good handful of the models or the members here from this ensemble model here. Kind of steering eastward, and like I said, that is because of this cold front that we're going to be having around the time. So cold fronts actually pull up the air ahead of them, and they push the air out from behind them. So that's whatever track that storm takes, it's going to get kind of sucked up and possibly shifting to the northeast there. That's what I'm a little bit concerned about. Once again, nothing set in stone quite yet. but it does seem like that might be a new trend that's starting to kind of pop up here. What's up, Richard? Hope you're doing good, man. Have the tracks updated since this morning? Christy, they did a little bit, actually. It seems like more and more of the models are supporting this thing going east. Like I mentioned, it's not final. Once again, we're still several days away from this system, but the models are really wanting this thing to go to the east. They really are. So, like I mentioned, try not to worry about it. Try not to panic over this. Once again, there still is a shot that this thing could ultimately change its course. It could completely dodge Florida. That still is a possibility. So try not to worry about it too much. Like I mentioned, I know we just got hit down here. I know it's been pretty nasty, but try not to let it get to you. We still have multiple days before the storm, even gets remotely close to some of these areas here. So there still is plenty of time, and once we start to kind of dial in where the storm could go, and the strength of the storm and stuff like that, then we'll start telling you guys to prepare if needed. Like I said, if needed. So that's that. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for tracking, bro. I'm safe in Northern Illinois. Pray all affected. You're very, very welcome, man. You're very welcome, Richard. No problem. Chris says, thank you for your high level of sensitivity. I've been truly, as a public safety student, I feel like the best thing for everybody is to be prepared in case it gives everybody time to. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, as of right now, there's no need to, full out prepare for the storm now because, once again, simply we just don't know where the thing's going to go. It seems like I said, with the new models, it seems like we are starting to trend our way to the east. So, if you live across the Gulf Coast and, especially in some of these areas I've highlighted here, I would highly consider watching the system over the next several days. There's no need to go out and, shop or anything like that right now. But, just know that we are tracking another system. This is a good 6-7 days out or so, so there is still a lot of room for changes here. But I do want my folks along the Gulf Coast, once again, to be on the lookout, okay? And like I said, it seems like the latest trends is the majority of those members and the models are, showing that storm going into the Gulf and kind of getting knocked to the east here because of that frontal system, because of that cold front that will kind of push the storm, towards the eastern side of the Gulf. So that's kind of what, we're looking out there for. Here's CMC model. Yeah, CMC kind of shows it doing the same thing, It starts its way up here in the Caribbean, possibly as a depression, turning into a storm, maybe nearly around that inlet point, depends. Then we work our way up here into the Gulf, and we get this frontal system that rolls through, and it kind of pushes that storm here a little bit to the east. Unfortunately, kind of there towards Florida, but that's according to CMC. GFS, this is the 18 Zulu GFS, has the thing going through that little inlet there. And then, kind of doing a violent turn there last minute towards Florida's panhandle. Once again, take that with a grain of salt. These models are not perfect. It still is a little early. I know that it still is early for, determining on where the thing's going to go. But, like I mentioned, it is certainly something that's a little bit concerning, and it is something that we need to watch very, very closely. As like I mentioned, these areas literally just got hit, which is very unfortunate. And like I said, the last thing we need is for another system to come over this way. So we're going to be watching this one closely, okay? Like I said, we'll keep you guys updated. There's no reason for panic. Guys, do not, try not to worry yourself over it. What I want you guys to do is just monitor it. Just watch out for the next couple of days. Just try to keep, your normal routine, your normal, daily routine. Just keep it going, and just, check on the news. Check on the updates here on our channel from time to time. We stream a couple times a day usually when those new model runs come out, just to help you guys out and everything. Like I said, we care about you, and we want to make sure that you guys are aware, that you guys are prepared. And, right now, like I said, it's something that you need to watch, but it's something that you don't have to prepare for quite yet because of the uncertainty still in the track, the strength, and the size of the storm there. So there still is a lot of things that we need to learn. And, once again, we have multiple days to prepare for this. The potential impact date is right around October 6th. That is also a subject to change potentially. That's just kind of roughly around when that storm gets into the Gulf here. Would be probably sometime around either the 5th or the 6th or the 7th, just to give it a little bit of wiggle room there, which, as you can imagine, that still is, a good several days down in time, in which, like I mentioned, there is absolutely still time for, changes to be made. In terms of, where the thing goes, where it ends up, how strong it'll be, and, all kinds of stuff like that. So just please be careful. But yeah, once again, there's no reason to, full on prepare and buy out the stores right now. No, it'll be all right, guys. We'll get through it. Chances I live in Louisiana. So if you live along the coast, out there towards Louisiana, I would tell you to continue to monitor the storm too. It really depends. That frontal system, it seems like to be the newest trend with the models here. You can see that violent turn there on the GFS. That is because of this cold front that's going to be pushing its way down. We have that trough, that low pressure system up there, which that's going to be kind of pushing the, possibly pushing that storm to the east here. So, that is a new trend, which that also, determines on how strong that, cold front is, where it's positioned more than importantly, and stuff like that. And so that's going to be another potential steering mechanism. Like I mentioned, there's actually another little low. I don't know if you guys noticed this here, over towards the Western Gulf here. You can kind of see here for the second and the third, there's a little, another little area of low pressure. It doesn't really pick up on anything, but it could be another area to watch out for. Do I believe Texas is safe? I still want Texas to monitor it, but as of now, it seems like the models, that a good majority of the models don't really want this thing going that way. There's a solid chance that cold front that we're talking about could actually protect some of those regions in the Western Gulf from this system. So as of now, there's no big no big dangers or anything like that for your area. Like I said, even for these these Gulf Coast areas, there's no there's still a lot we don't know. I want you to watch it, but there's no reason to freak out about it. There still is a lot of things that can change. Okay. Let's see here. Is there a chance it heads to Tampa/Sarasota? That scenario can't be ruled out at this point. It does seem like some of the models do want this thing kind of coming towards Florida. Like I said, there's the GFS, here's the CMC. We hop over here towards some of those ensembles again, like EPS, those members here. And you can see that a lot of those members, track from the Caribbean. They go into the Gulf, and then you can see, watch their little number motion. You can see how they turn to the northeast there and kind of go over Florida. So it seems like a good amount of model support right now. Once that to happen, kind of go towards Florida. Here's some more of the GEFS ensembles. You see how it starts in the Caribbean there. That cold front comes through, and then it kind of steers that storm, a bit more to the east there. So that's a little bit concerning. And of course, we do have the GE, the GEPS model showing that exact same thing. Potentially some pretty strong members out there according to the GEPS here. But a good majority of those members do go over towards Florida, which like I said, it's kind of the last thing we need right now. Let's see here. But there is still a possibility that the storm won't impact Florida at all. There is absolutely still that possibility. Nothing's final yet because of the fact we still have several days to go. So just keep that in mind. Once again, it's still a little early for preparations or anything like that. But at the point we're at right now, I just want you guys to watch it. Just monitor. Just keep an eye on the area for the next couple days, and once the models start to get a really good grasp on what's going to happen, we'll obviously continue to update you guys throughout the next several days, and help keep you guys prepared and weather aware, and everything like that. So we're here for you. We're going to continue to be here for you in terms of, helping you guys out and, preparing y'all and stuff like that. So, like I said, we got you. We got you. Let's see here. Western North Carolina is a total disaster. Bridges gone. Yeah, Western North Carolina got hit really hard by a lot of rain. Here's actually the power outage map. You guys can still see it was actually much worse. But you can see that there has been a lot of power outages. You can see out there towards the Big Bend of Florida, that's where it started as the storm rolled inland. A lot of those outages went up there towards eastern Georgia, out there towards like central, western South Carolina from Helene. A lot of western North Carolina got a lot of rain, a lot of outages out there. Same thing for like Virginia, a little bit of eastern Tennessee, Kentucky, southern Ohio. Did get a bit of power outages there, but yeah, look at that big streak. You can kind of tell where it went. You can kind of tell where Helene went, but once again, watching the system here, they did update the probability. Like I said, this morning it was at a 40%. Now it's 50. I do expect this to increase. Would not be surprised if tomorrow the thing was, near 60%, maybe in the evening. It could become overall high chance of development. I would not be surprised. Due to the fact that these models have been continuously supporting this system here for multiple days at this point. Once again, all of the models are on board with a system forming. All of the models have been talking about it for, a good while now. So there is, there is growing confidence in this storm here. And once again, like I mentioned with the timing, we are still a little ways away. And that's why I'm saying, it's still a little early to be for sure of where the storm's going to go. So, and just keep that in mind. But according to the majority of the models, as we kind of roll between the Caribbean, the Southern Caribbean into the Western Caribbean, this will be taking place the 1st to the 3rd, roughly. Like I said, the models, on average, kind of show the storm, remaining in the Caribbean, kind of starting for the 1st, going towards the 2nd, towards like the Western Central Caribbean, then going up there towards that little inlet between the Eastern Yucatan and Western Cuba for around October 3rd. And then, of course, we roll our way here towards the Gulf, right here, right around the 4th, maybe the 5th, and then, like I said, maybe the 6th, between those days. So the 1st to the 3rd in the Caribbean, the 4th through the 4th to the 6th, somewhere out there towards the Gulf. Which remember, that's timing is still not also set in stone yet, so that's still not final. But that's just what the majority of those models are suggesting as of right now regarding the timing. And stuff like that. So, that's just kind of what what we're showing here. Let's see. Ryan says, "Woo, another hurricane." We're gonna be underwater here soon. Yeah, I hope not, man. We got hit pretty hard. The other day, and unfortunately, like I said, this is it's kind of the last thing we need is another system like this. But remember, like I said, nothing's final yet. There is still chances that the storm will not impact Florida, but from the way that the models are talking, it seems like an easterly push seems more likely. Unfortunately, a lot of the models here's GFS. You can see the 18 Zulu has it going up there towards the central Gulf. We get a cold front, and then it kind of steers its way up here to the northeast, which really kind of pushes it out there towards the panhandle of Florida. According to GFS, CMC, actually has this thing a bit more to the east, going up there towards the panhandle, then kind of gets pushed in towards the Big Bend region. According to CMC here, Icon shows, kind of an interesting take per se, showing that low up there for the 2nd, October 2nd. Yeah, this barely even gets in the time frame of that storm, so Icon's a little bit goofy right now. And then, of course, like I said, the ensembles that we were, watching here, like the EPS, you can see, let's do the 12 Zulu here overall, which, you can actually see the 12 Zulu has a lot of those members out there towards, like, the Western Caribbean here for, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, rolling its way into the Gulf here between, like, the 4th, 5th, and, potentially the 6th. And you can actually see a lot of those members steering their way over Florida, kind of going up there towards Florida, unfortunately. So, That does seem like the latest guidance as of right now. Let's see. I'm here for work in Brunswick, Georgia. All hotels are full. I got you. Well, stay safe out there, let's see here, Stephen. Please be careful, man. And there's definitely still impacts from Helene going on right now. A lot of places are still without power and everything, but we'll be careful, man. Let's see. Good evening, Stefan. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Glad to have you here. Let's see. Is this going to hit Pensacola? So there's no way to tell for sure if this thing is going to go, towards Pensacola. Cannot be ruled out at this point, but, once again, it's also not known. From what the models are suggesting now, and what the newest idea is that the storm. So the storm develops in the Caribbean, works its way through the Caribbean. And then kind of gets steered potentially to the east, which could, in theory, put it towards Florida because of a cold front that's going to be kind of pushing, a bit of air and kind of acting like a battering ram, like I was saying, and kind of pushing that storm maybe a bit more to the east. Now, it really does determine on how fast this cold front takes to get here. If the cold front's delayed, if it's further back than expected, then that could mean that the storm would just continue going towards the central Gulf. But if the storm is actually ahead, or say the cold front's actually ahead of where we're expecting, that could even mean that the storm could turn a bit more early. So it really just comes to the point of how strong that cold front's going to be, the timing, where the cold front's going to be at what time, how fast this storm is moving, where it goes. There's a lot of variables here. There's a lot of moving parts associated with weather. And what the models are kind of picking up on here is the fact that that cold front could steer some of that activity towards the eastern Gulf, unfortunately. So we'll just have to continue watching it. Let's see here. Here from New Orleans, is there a chance of it hitting here? So that area can't be ruled out either. There is still a chance that it could go up there towards those regions overall. So that's not ruled out either. Some of the models, suggest it kind of getting near Louisiana, but this seems like the latest trend may be even a little bit further east of that. So we'll just have to see. But I wouldn't rule it out. I would certainly keep an eye out there for it, my friend. Just continue monitoring the weather. Just keep an eye out there for it over the next couple of days. As we continue to learn more about this system here, and as we continue to to learn more about the storm, then we'll obviously be able to kind of tell you guys a little bit more about it. It is still a couple days away from kicking off here. Once again, anywhere from the 1st to the 3rd, or basically ranging from October 1st to October 3rd, the storm will be out there towards the Caribbean. And then from, like I said, the 3rd, potentially towards around the 6th or so, it'll be out there towards the Gulf. So that's kind of a time frame. So it'll be, the 1st to the 3rd out here in the Caribbean, and then, like I said, the 4th through like the 6th. Or once again, that's still not final with the timing either, but that's just what the median kind of shows us regarding the dates, and which you can imagine that still is very, still several days away. Today's pretty much over, so we're pretty much at the 29th here. And there is 30 days in this month, so this is a good week away or so. This is still a good week away, in which absolutely a lot can change in a week. The models typically, I've noticed with hurricanes, is that we really start to get a grasp most of the time on what we can expect around 3 or 4 days out. That's when things start to become, from what I've seen, a little bit more confident. And like I said, the fact that we are still 7 days away or so is still enough time for things to change. So that's why I'm saying it's like, try not to worry yourself over it, because there is still a lot of things that can change. There is still a lot of variables that could change here, and likely will, to be honest with you, as we continue to progress, and we'll just continue to show you guys what's going on with the models and everything like that, and just kind of show you all the latest, and um, we'll keep you updated. We'll keep you updated. What's up, Darian? Hope you're doing good. Thanks. I'm a weather enthusiast. Wanted to make sure if we're going to have impacts so I can get ready. Impacts, outages. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I mentioned, at the point now, all we really need to do, guys, is just watch. There's no reason to buy out the stores again or anything like that right now. Once we start to learn more about the storm, then, and like I said, if we start to see an area that, could be heavily impacted, then we'll be like, yeah, then you need to prepare. But right now, it's stage 1. We just need to watch it. Then stage 2 would be whenever the models start to agree a little better on an area, and then we'll say prepare for it. That's the next step. But just for now, just keep an eye on it. Just continue watching it. Continue with your daily lives, and what you're doing. Try not to worry about it too much, but just keep it in mind that, there might be a tropical system heading towards the Gulf again here for next week. And then, as the models kind of marinate, and as we start to, get more and more of these models out here, and, we start to get a little bit closer to the event, we'll start learning a lot more about the system, how it's behaving, especially once that storm forms. Whenever that system forms, we can continue monitoring, how it's behaving, how it's handling itself. And then, of course, at some point, if need be, hurricane hunters will fly out into it, gather more data around the in the environment of the hurricane potential. I shouldn't say hurricane, but tropical system, and of course, around it as well, to kind of see what environment could be pulled into the tropical system. I keep on saying hurricane because I'm used to Helene. I'm used to covering. We did so much coverage with Helene. It's nuts. But yeah, so there is still a shot that this thing could not even be a hurricane. I mean, that is definitely on the table. Once again, nothing is finalized yet. We like I said, we don't know how strong it's going to be. We don't know exactly where it's going to make landfall. We don't know, how big the storm's going to be. If it's going to be a small little storm or a big storm like Helene. Like I said, we don't know. That's what it boils down to. But what we can tell you is that the models, once again, have continuously been supportive of a tropical system forming for the first, kind of right around the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of October out there in the Caribbean, then rolling into the Gulf between like the 4th, 5th, 6th, and so on. So that's where we're at now. And we've been continuously seeing support on this system here, in which the models have been talking about it for days at this point. Not just one model, but literally like all of the main models have been talking about this system. So that's what's concerning, is the fact that it's just constantly being brought up by the models, and that's increasing our confidence that, hey, there might actually be another system forming. So that's where we're standing right now. But once again, I will not say it enough. I can never say it enough. It is too early to tell what it's going to do and where it's going to go and how strong it's going to be, how big it's going to be. There's a lot of things that we need to, just monitor. And once again, final time I'm going to say this here before we head off here. Just want to go ahead and give you all a little update out here for tonight. But the final thing I'm going to go ahead and say is, once again, there is absolutely, we're not sure of what it's going to do right now. And absolutely that things can change. And everything like that. So what I want you guys to know is, once again, that the models are talking about this system. They have been for days. All of the main models have been talking about it for a good while at this point. And then, of course, I want you guys to know that, the track, the strength, the size of the storm has a lot of time to change over the next several days. Okay, so nothing's final. Just continue with your daily lives, once again, but just monitor it. That's what I want you guys to do. If you live along the Gulf Coast here, just continue to watch the weather for the next, several days here. Like I said, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. It would be good. That way you guys can continually stay updated as I continue to do several live streams per day. We'll do another live stream tomorrow. We'll do one in the morning. We'll do another one here, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll continue going live for you guys in order to make sure that you guys are staying weather aware, staying prepared, and everything like that. Like I said, we care about y'all. We want you guys to be safe. We want you guys to be prepared, and whatever new updates we get on the system, we'll be the first to tell you, and everything like that. So once again, consider it. Much appreciated. But anyways, my friends, well, once again, everybody, that's going to probably wrap it up for now. If you guys have any final questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. I appreciate all of our supporters, everybody. Thank you all for helping us out, of course, and helping us stay afloat. I appreciate all of our supporters. I appreciate everybody. Even just for coming in and joining for a few seconds, just stopping by. I appreciate it. And like I said, we'll have final questions. If you guys have any questions before I roll off here, feel free to let me know. Roaster says, thanks, Andrew. Stay safe, chat. You're very, very welcome, Roaster. You are very welcome, my friend. Rocket says, thanks, Andrew. You're very welcome, my friend. Like I said, it's my honor. I'm glad to be here. I love doing the weather. I love forecasting. I always have for many, many, many years. And, it's just, I enjoy it. I do. Even, unfortunately, whenever nature decides it wants to throw us a lot of, nasty stuff, I'm glad to be here with you guys, and I'm glad to help out. So you guys are very, very welcome. Let's see. Thanks, Andrew. Stay safe, chat. You as well, Darian. Let's see. Andrew, there's a tropical storm named Julian near the Philippines. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't really been watching out there too much. I've been kind of focusing on the Atlantic and kind of more of like, our side of things here. But yeah, no, I really haven't been focusing out there, to be honest with you. Just there's a lot of activity starting to pop up in the Atlantic. So there's still is a lot of activity starting to pick up here. Let's see here. He says, hello from Northeast Georgia mountains. New sub. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate it. But anyways, like I said, y'all, if you guys have any final questions before I roll off here, just want to get y'all a little update out there tonight. Once again, we'll pick up on this tomorrow morning, whenever the models continue to run overnight. And, any new information and stuff like that, we'll talk about in the next live stream. And once again, if you could, leave a like, subscribe. It'd be much appreciated, my friends. Much love to y'all. Let's see here. Pelican says, thanks, Andrew. Looking forward to new content. It's my first time finding your channel. Well, welcome, my friend. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. But, alrighty, everybody. Well, once again, last call. Final questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. If not, then that's going to wrap it up for tonight. And once again, if you guys could, consider subscribing. Most importantly, if you guys could, is share this, put on your Facebook wall, your Twitter, whatever, just to help get the word out there. Share the channel as much as possible. That way, we can help out as many people as possible here. That's the goal here, is to help out as many people as we can. You guys can help make that a reality by sharing this like crazy. It would be much, much appreciated. Let's see, sleep well, chat. Yeah, you as well, my friend. You as well. Johnny says, thank you for everything you do, Andrew, and a great night. Be safe. Well, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Glad to be here for you guys. But alrighty, everybody. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Sweet dreams to you guys. Have a great, great night. Like I said, have a good, another day off. Tomorrow's the weekend. The continuation of the weekend. Have a great Sunday tomorrow. And, try to get some rest in before the week ahead of us. But hope you guys have a restful weekend. And like I said, we'll catch you guys in the next live stream. Will be tomorrow morning, giving you guys more updates. And like I said, tomorrow morning we'll have some more information and stuff like that, as the models will be running overnight. And we'll be able to tell you guys what the latest models are showing us when the time comes. But alrighty, everybody. Thank you for joining. You guys take care. Much love to you. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. Catch you in the next one.